Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the variables and data type. So first, if we talk about the variables, variables are used to store data that can be referenced and manipulated in a program. So for an example, if you want to store any kind of the number or the name or any kind of the data, so what we need, we have to store it somewhere. So to store it somewhere, we have the data types. So for an example, if I want to store any number, then we have the integer data type. If I want to store any kind of the like a float number, means the decimal kind of the number, then we have the float. If we want to store the name, we use the like a string, and if we want to store some kind of a true false kind of a condition, then we use the bool. But in the Python, the good thing is explicitly we no need to define any data type. Like in other applications, generally what we do like int a equal to, we are going to assign it. But in the Python, what happened, like it automatically or dynamically will able to understand what kind of the data it is, and accordingly it will do the operation. So how we do that? So first let's go with the id. Here what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take a variable name called number1, and here what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign, for an example, 25. So now this number1 will have the 25, and next I'm going to take number2 is equal to again 20. So here we have the two variable, we have taken num1, num2, both are the some numbers. So this will automatically will store in our particular memory. So for an example, if we want to see the address, like in which address this is storing, so what I will write, I will just write id in num1. If I will hit enter, it will give us that particular memory location. You can see, so this is the number. So basically this IDE, this is giving, it give based on the number, what kind of the number it is. Now similar way, if I will check for the number2, it will give us the different like address. So here you can see this is the different address. Now for an example, if I will take number3, and here I'm going to assign again 25, and this time if I will check the ID of this, means the basically address of this one. So as I told you, the address is basically not on the variable, it depends on what kind of the value you are taking. So for this, the address will be the 424, means this address will be same. Here you can see this one and this address is the both are the same. So we can see, like in the Python, it basically depend on the number, what kind of the number you are storing, accordingly it will give the result. Now the purpose of this to store the data in the variable, like why we define the variable, the reason is in the future if we want to manipulate the data. So for that purpose, for an example, I want to like add number1 and number2, then what will happen? So here I'm taking number4 and equal to number1 plus number2. So what it will give if I will print it. So basically to print the data, we use the print. Here what I will print number4. So here what it will give, it will give 4 as 45, because the sum of num1 and 2 will be the 45. And if I will check the address for this one, obviously will be different, because 45 is the different number. Another thing, if I will see, I will take the number 5, here the different variable, and inside this one what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign number 1. Hit enter. Let's print the number 5. What will be the value? So here I'm assigning, like the value of number 1 is 25, I'm assigning this value in number 5. So the value of number 5 will become the 25. Here you can see. Now if I will check the value for this number 5, what will be the value according to you? So it will be obvious the same as we have for the number 1, or we can say number 3, because the value of all these three are the same. And here you can see the ID, means the location or the memory location is same for all. So this is the way in the Python variable works. If I will take another thing, for an example, I will take name. This is my new variable name. Here I'm going to assign, for an example, .NET Office. So what I did, like I'm just assigning a integer, sorry, in the string. This name, like explicitly no need to tell us like it's a string, so you assign the string kind of thing. It will automatically or dynamically able to understand it like it's a string. Now if I want to print it, so we use the print and just print in this way. It will give us that particular name to us, like what we are going to print in this. So this is the way we print it. Now all these operations we have done in the ID. Same thing if you want to do in the PyCharm, then how? So like if you have installed the PyCharm in your system, currently you are seeing like this. What I will do, go up and here I'm going to do the new project. If you don't have any project, so you will see first time this kind of the outline. Here what I'm going to do, I'm going to give the my project name. So I'm going to give .NET Office Python. Okay. So this I'm going to give. If you want to store the data on the Git repository, anyhow in the future we are going to discuss about what is the Git, how do we store the data, but in the small terms, Git is basically like where you want to share your data, and so other team member also can work with you. So for that purpose we use the Git. We'll discuss more about on this one in the future. So once you give your project name, just click on the create. What it will do, it will create a new window. Since I have already project, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the new window. So for me it will create the like it will open the new window for us one. Now it will take a few seconds. Here you can see it is creating virtual environment. Means by default it is creating the virtual environment for us. That is the good thing with the PyCharm. But if we are going to work with the Visual Studio Code, what we have to do, we have to create the virtual environment, so it will not affect any other project. But with the PyCharm, it will automatically create the virtual environment for us, so externally we no need to do anything. Now since we are having here, what we have to do the next, here first we have to create the file. So here you will see they are different by default file here .py. If you see any file extension with the py, it means it's a Python file. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create, right click, just create the file, or directly you can select the Python file. So if you will click on the file, here you have to give the file name and then you have to give the extension accordingly. And if you will go with the Python file, what you can do, just here you have to give the Python file. So what I am going to give this as a any name like practice. So practice, if you will give, it will automatically add that particular extension. So now here you can do all the operation which we have done so far in that ID. For an example, here what I'm going to do, I'm going to take anything like .NET Office, and here what I will do, just I will print it like name. So after giving this one, if you will right click, what like to run this one, right click, and here you will see run practice, or you can add like control shift F10. So when I will run this one, you can see it is giving the output to us this way. So this, it's like the similar way what we have done in the ID, same operation we can perform here as well. So this is the way we can like take any type of the data here. Now the other thing is, for an example, here if I want to print directly, I'm printing. So for an example, here I want to print, like for an example, .NET Office. Here what I'm taking, I'm going to take like .NET Office videos. So here when I will run this, like let's run this, so what it will giving, it is giving the command as expected. So now the next thing is, for an example, here if I want to print some data like any kind of the directory, if I want to print like the .NET Office, then I want to say like net. So currently what we are seeing, we are seeing some error. When I will try to run this one, like how it is giving the output, here you can see C and then T, means it's taking some way in the kind of the like in the space basically. So here you can see it is giving some space here, means it's not giving, and for the /n it is taking as a new line, and we can see the remaining part in the different line as well. So it's not giving us the proper path. So to get that path, what we have to do, we have to just put here R, and it will consider as a raw string for us. And at point of this time, if I will run this, we will see this is the the path which we have given, it is printing as it is. So these are the some ways we can play with the variables and internally how it handle the data types. So data types is nothing but like what kind of the data it is internally storing, like integer, float, bool, or like if we talk about a string. So it internally how it handle the data. So those are the data type. So this is all about the variables. In the coming video, we will discuss about the other things like how we do the all the arithmetic operations with these variables. So that's it for this video. If you have any question and doubt, please comment. Thank you.